Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 2006 Chevy HHR, the 2.4 LT. And this is the fall edition, actually, if you're wondering. I never put that in this video. We're going to give y'all a part 3 video on this Pioneer stereo and show y'all how the outcome has come so far. And it's been, what, almost 2 months. And we're going to tell you the good news about the actual new cigarette lighter as well. As you know, this radio still works perfectly fine. It powers on, doesn't overheat. The touchscreen works famously. The only thing that sucks about it doesn't come with a remote, and I don't know why. Maybe they stopped them because they're not as popular anymore. That could be the case. I play Bluetooth on this thing every day when I go to work. It works terrifically fine. I'm not going to play music on here because it could be copyright for YouTube, and I don't like getting yelled at about a copyright claim. So I'm sorry to tell you, and there's going to be no music on this video. But as you can tell, everything still works perfectly fine. I still haven't got the webcam hooked up. I mean, the rear camera. But everything works perfectly. You barely have to touch the screen, and everything works. Looks great. And the screen is really firm, so nothing moves up here or anything like that. And as I did mention before, this was the original kit that had the last radio in, because the last radio had an ampage problem inside of it. It was making my rear left speaker hiss. When I put this new radio in, it doesn't do it. The chime that actually comes with this vehicle, it does work, and you can hear the blinkers, but barely hear the blinkers. But the chime is louder than the blinkers, so when I turn the blinkers on, if you hear it, you can hear the blinker on the right side. And that's the blinker for the left side. You can hear it, but when you're going down the road, you can't hear it as much. But the chime is actually behind this radio because it doesn't stretch very far, and you only can shove it so far with the harness. And at least there's enough hole room back there that you can shove almost the whole entire harness, and I'm actually impressed on how much it stretches out. But I zip tied it professionally, make sure everything was hooked up. Speakers play great, stock speakers, the perfect bass, perfect sound. And I use Amazon Music. I paid for the unlimited plan, so I get the whole HD quality, the high definition quality that they have, the best they have for this radio. That sounds good. Now, if you had the standard music with no HD, it would sound like crap, or let's say shit. But we're just gonna say crap. I tried changing the EQ settings on here, and I have it set to a certain, because of the treble. I like high treble. I don't like low treble because I just think it sounds like shit. But yeah, everything works fine. I haven't had any problems. And when it comes to the cigarette lighter, even though it lights up blue, sorry, pollen's still getting to me around here in springtime down here in Florida. Actually, like I said in the last video, that wasn't for sure about the cigarette lighter and how it was going to affect the battery. It doesn't affect the battery at all. I almost tempted to take it out and get one without a light because I felt the battery was going to die, but I didn't really give it a chance. So I said, you know what, let's give it a chance. The battery dies, I can recharge it. So yeah, it's been almost 2 months. I go to work, leave the car off for 9 hours. I come home, leave it off for 24 hours, let's say, not if I don't have to work. Battery doesn't attempt to die, nothing gets dim, cranks up fine. So I know this light can run constantly, even when the car's off, because this is one of those cars where the cigarette lighter is actually designed to stay on when the car is off, because it has a saver on them. Because if I can run this hum up here from Verizon on this all the time, and run my purifier thing back there, everything's fine. Because I think when the vehicle shuts off, I think it actually shuts off to a minimum. And I think it only uses so much voltage to keep this running, or if your phone's plugged up, like I can connect my phone to it and it's still charged, but I think it's more like a low charge, because the purifier thing doesn't continue to run when the car is off. It only runs to a certain point and it turns off. So if you're wanting to get one of these cigarette lighters, which means I have the part number and the package showed in the first video about the Pioneer installation, it will tell you that I wasn't for sure about this light, but this video that I make today, which is right now, telling you that it is okay and it won't kill your battery. And if it did, I would have already bought me another one from the same place, from the same vendor, and I would have got one without a light. And the little twist on cap is like a lock nut. It twists on it perfectly. It doesn't move or anything. And like I said, it's better than the last GM part that they put in these cars, because they got the smallest, tiniest little paper clip type clip. If it usually has two of them, it only takes us a little bit to pop them out, and they break and they're gone. And I know it broke because I heard it hit my floorboard that same day that I was replacing this. And this radio only took me an hour to hook up, and that was the right way. And I still don't have no issues. I mean, even the sub works in the back. Now, one day, if the car lasts long enough, I do want to get better speakers. But my speakers are working fine. They're not busted or anything. I'm not running no 12-inch or 18-inch speakers in here or anything like that. Well, my father calls them a boom box, and I know for a fact it's not a boom box. Back in the day, you called it a boom box. I had a boom box in the PT. Oh, not boom box. Jesus, I sound like my father now. I had a 212s in the back of a PT Cruiser, and I ain't gonna lie, that PT Cruiser ran better than my Chevy Cruze did. And I hate Chrysler. It's kind of weird how you have a newer car. It's a Chevy Cruze with better fuel economy and everything. The engines are crap, but it's amazing how my piece of crap, rusted PT Cruiser ran better than that car did. And this car runs better than both of them put together. This car's been more reliable than any other vehicle I've had so far. Well, I had an Oldsmobile Alero, and it lasted 3 years. Lasted 3 years without a problem. So, this vehicle's been really reliable. I've had it for over a year now. I did some maintenance, but now since it's getting up to miles, I put some money into it, just mainly for sensors. I put new transmission mounts on, motor mounts, the whole 9 yards. Normal stuff that needs to be done to a vehicle for you to take care of it, especially if it's the only vehicle you got. My wife has a vehicle, but we share vehicles if we have to. But until we can get new vehicles, probably at the end of the year, then everything should be fine. So, yeah, everything's working perfectly. I didn't realize this had a USB on it until like a week ago. I haven't tried the USB on it, but if the radio works, all this should work. And as you can tell, it shuts off with the car, turns right back on with the car. You got your normal chimes and everything. And that's basically it. I hope this video helps on as far as how good their reviews are on this Pioneer installation on a 06 Chevy HHR with a 2.4 LT. Just a reminder, because you have a Chevy HHR does not mean that every radio is going to use the same harness or the same kit. Most of the time, all the Chevy HHRs were the same interior, so all the all the dash kits should be the same, only the harnesses would be different. Just a reminder, this car has a Pioneer premium Pioneer stereo system that was manufactured put in by GM. That's what I have, but it doesn't have OnStar. If you have the one with the premium sound system with OnStar, get the one with the OnStar, which is almost a $300 wiring harness. If you've got the Pioneer premium stereo system without the OnStar, it'd be about $169 to $120 part, and that doesn't even include the steering wheel control harness, which is an extra 90. I think it's like an extra $100, 120. No, yeah, that extra $90. No, it was actually another $100, I think, because it was like $260 altogether, and they don't even give you the steering wheel controls with the actual harness that you have to buy. If you don't have the Pioneer stereo system with or without OnStar, you just have to get basically, I think, the basic kit, which is like, I think it's like $50, $60, but that's without the Pioneer premium system.